Hey there, this is Katie from Health, Wellness, and Chocolate, and you are listening to the Health, Wellness, and Chocolate podcast. I wanted to talk to you today about reducing stress and feeling better, and really kind of go over the truth about stress. I think as women, especially, we want to be, we want to care about everything, right? And we think because if we care extra hard about things that, it shows, or we worry more about things, like it shows that we care more. But really, all it does is kind of wear us down and stress us out. Stress really is not good for us, especially on our body. So what I wanted to do today was kind of talk about the effects of stress on our body and then give you 3 tips to help you get started on reducing your stress. And then I wanted to also tell you about the Ultimate Healthy Living Bundle that is going on this week only at 97% off the price. So it's only $37 for some amazing, awesome things. But I'll tell you all about that at the end, but I wanted to give you this right now. So the truth about stress. So stress, in some ways, stress is great, right? Because it can tell us that it's almost like a barometer in our body. It can tell us like something is wrong, something is not going right here, something is wrong in this situation. And we can listen to that and turn into it and figure out like, okay, what's going on? How do I need to respond to what's happening around me, right? It's necessary. And some stressful situations are actually, you kind of come out better on the other side of them. But chronic stress, like especially stress over COVID and like our stress response maybe this past year with all the uncertainty in all the arenas of our life, I feel like our stress spidey senses, if you will, like are kind of turned on right now. And a lot of people, they'll watch the news hoping that, what they're worried about or stressed about will that level will be reduced when they have more information and they know more. But the opposite happens, right? You turn the news on because you want more information to feel better. And what actually happens is you wind up feeling worse because the news, of course, their job is to get you to click through, right? To get you to have a reaction. So you stay tuned through the commercial to come back, right? It's really emotionally driven, and having those emotions always heightened is a form of stress on our body. Not only that, but stress causes inflammation. It interrupts our hormone function. It stresses out our adrenal glands and our thyroid glands, which are crucial to be working like in a functional way for health and our weight loss. So when it comes to weight loss, if our adrenals or our thyroid, if all of those are not quite right, if our hormones are off, it makes losing weight and sustainable weight loss that much harder to do. Okay. Also, stress on your body, it does impact blood sugar. So if you've been told you have high blood sugar, I'm not sure, but maybe one of the things that your doctor has said to you is like, how is your stress? Because stress does impact blood sugar. It also impacts your gut health, and it can lead to adrenal fatigue. So when we feel anxious or stressed, our heart rate actually speeds up, our blood pressure increases, our breathing increases, our body will pump out adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. And the blood is actually rerouted away from the core of our body, and it's sent out to our arms and our legs to, like that fight or flight response, right? So our body, our legs or our arms, they need to be the ones moving. All right, but because the blood is rerouted away from the core of our body, digestion slows, it is interrupted. So even though stress is in your mind, your body will still have these responses because your body will react to the thoughts that you have. So if your thoughts are going to lead you to having feelings of stress, then your body will react to those feelings of stress. So inside the Health and Wellness Blueprint and also inside the Wellness Workshop Bundle that I have, I go over like Stress 101, right? Like how to manage your stress and your anxiety without using food. So this is kind of like a little snippet from those workshops that I did. And so what I want to tell you is like your brain is designed to keep you safe and alive, and it's going to do whatever it needs to do with the littlest amount of effort required by you, because like I've said in earlier things, like your brain uses up a lot of energy, and so it automates as much as possible to conserve that energy, and it will fall back on habits as often as it possibly can. So it'll automate as much as it can. So if you're someone who struggles with your weight, your brain is going to try to keep you safe by telling you you're hungry. So a lot of times when you have like that stress response, your body's going to be like, "Whoa, you're hungry." Like your brain's going to tell you that you're hungry. And it's always going to give you a specific food or a specific food group that will help you feel better, right? Like, so when you feel stressed, you're not craving carrots, right? You're craving like ice cream or chips or something. You're like, "Oh, I want something salty right now. I just don't know what." Like, it's not going to be carrots with salt on them, right? It's going to be like chips of some sort or something crunchy, or it's going to be something sweet and soothing like ice cream. Okay, so your brain just wants you to have like this hit of dopamine, so it can kind of take the edge off of that feeling stress, that stress feeling, right? It's going to counter it by asking you to go ahead and get some dopamine, and that will naturally lower your stress feeling. But when you feel stressed, you have all this extra cortisol, the extra insulin, the extra adrenaline in your blood, and these all contribute to weight gain and difficulty losing weight. So you have all these extra hormones in your bloodstream because you're stressed, and then you have your brain telling you you should go eat something to feel better, okay? You've got like this double whammy going on. So your brain is going to tell you like, "Oh, you're starving and you've got to go eat." And then these hormones are not going to help you with digestion after you eat. And in fact, it's going to store most of the extra food then is going to get stored as fat, because your body needs to focus on whatever the stress is right now, not actual digestion. So, it's gonna store the food for later, and then what happens is there's more. You have still, then the blood sugar is still in your system, right? And then you have because you've stored extra fat, your body has more inflammation and all these things. So it's kind of like this really vicious cycle. And so like, what can you do, right? Like, what are some signs that you are stressed and you need a break? When we feel stressed, our brain is going to do exactly what I just told you that it does. And you're going to feel almost like this sense of hypervigilance, almost like you can't shut your brain off. Or like when you're finally tired and you fall into bed because you're exhausted at night, you can't like shut off your brain from thinking, right? You feel like you're responsible for the entire world. And if you're not up worrying, the world may end, okay? And then you also spend a lot of time, you never feel like you're enough, right? Or that you need to be perfect. And if you were just perfect, you would not feel so stressed, right? Or if I could just get this right, life would just be better, okay? Or you spend a lot of time in shoulds, right? Like life shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be this worried. I shouldn't be so tired. I should be able to sleep. I shouldn't be so unhappy. My house should just magically be cleaner. My kids should just listen. I should just try harder. I should have more energy. I should just have more fun. Like you kind of like spin in this idea of like what life should be like, okay? But so what do? Okay, stress almost feels inevitable, and we always feel obligated to worry about things because we feel like the more we worry, it just shows the more we care. But that's not actually correct. So what can you do? First thing is detach from problems and situations that you actually can't control. So really do what I call like a bird's eye view of your life. And my husband Chris and I always have a saying, we're like, play your position, right? Like be influential in the areas that you are able to be influential at, and then like let the rest go, because you truly, for your own sake, cannot care about everything. And something that that has helped me in this is like, there is somebody who is more qualified, who knows more about this situation and will be more effective in making a change in the situation than I am. So I'm going to let it go and hope someone else can handle that situation. And I'm not talking about the stuff that I am personally responsible for, like caring for my kids, like the circle, the small sphere of influence that I do have, obviously, that's where I am. I'm talking about like globally, worrying about all these other things like that are on the news or that are really kind of outside my sphere of influence. You got to detach from it. And really what has helped me is just like, there's somebody else like way more qualified that can handle this situation than I can, and I'm going to let it go. And, that helps you also be more effective then and fully present in the areas where you need to be and not focusing on things. So like spending a lot of time on social media, worrying about things, worrying about like what people are saying and arguing with strangers and like trying to come up with one-liners or trying to like rant at somebody not doing something you think they should be doing. Like that really drains you emotionally, and that takes so much of your effort. And I think, maybe it's rooted in low self-esteem where you feel better kind of like showing your intellect or showing off, like, like maybe it helps you feel more superior, right? To go online and like read comments, and then like you can always judge yourself against like stupid people and feel better, right? But like it doesn't actually help you in like your life. So you can't worry about everything. And we weren't really designed to worry about everything. So just try to be effective in the areas where you're supposed to and really kind of let the rest go. So what does that look like for you? Do you spend a lot of time being frustrated on social media, kind of getting, in like these little fights with people, or do you tend to like, stew in your own worry where you just run these catastrophic scenarios inside your head and like, most of what we worry about doesn't really happen. So if you find that that's what you do, like try to let it go and try to stop. The second thing would be take time for fun. My mentor, Sally Clarkson, she has a podcast called At Home with Sally, and she's just very encouraging as a mom. I just love, like, she's a very great mentor, but she had just had a podcast on, and she was saying that they have something they call a sober club. Sober, SOBR, right? And it stands for sick of being responsible. So she said that they make time for fun because sometimes it's just, you just need a break from the stresses, the adulting of life. And so, whenever she felt like this, her and her husband would call a sober meeting, and it was sick of being responsible, and they would find something to do. And it didn't have to be elaborate or cost a lot of money, but it was just a diversion from the everyday, pulling you down of life. And, they would maybe go to a movie or just like plan a day of fun, a picnic, something like maybe just go to bed early or have, a fun splurge, so can you have a sober meeting yourself, right? Like where you can find something that you can do that you enjoy that kind of will let you blow off some steam and not feel so responsible and not feel so stressed about everything in life. Like just, let it go a little bit. Let your hair down, right? Have fun, make plans with friends and play a board game or something. And then the third way to really reduce your stress would be to start working on improving your well-being, right? Invest in learning. Go for a walk outside. Get your nutrition in line. Learn about what it takes to restore your adrenals and your thyroid. Eating nourishing food, improving your gut health, right? Like, take time to invest in yourself so that you're able to handle your stress better. You take the driver's seat of your life and you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do for myself, for my own sanity. And what I wanted to tell you about, and I mentioned it in the beginning of this podcast, was like right now through March 12th is the Ultimate Healthy Living Bundle 2021. And they have the entire workshop dedicated to managing stress and anxiety. Then there's also 20 ebooks that are available. There's 19 e-courses and summits, and it's all about healthy living. So regardless of what you're struggling with, I'm pretty sure that they have something in the arena for you. So the whole bundle is only $37, which is like really mind-blowing because like if you add up, like my wellness workshop bundle is included inside of this ultimate living bundle, ultimate healthy living bundle. And mine is $29.99. And that is like the whole thing is $37. So like it's 97% off of what you would normally pay. And they have so many good classes. Like, so they have a basic keto cookbook inside here, cleanse yourself, conscious cleaning. So really how to clean your house. There's also copycat recipes from restaurants and grocery stores that this woman has redone, Becca Ludlam. She's redone them and made them healthier versions too. Then there's like also DIY herbal spa books, how to get your glutes into gear, a guide to alternative sweeteners, heal your gut. That's important, especially if stress has been wearing you down. Then there's like something by Sharon McGaskill called the Healthy Living Guide. Those are recipes. There's herbs for your home, how to build your apothecary. Let's see. Again, there's like different, like, oh, there's one called Kids Cook Solo. It's like all cooking classes for your kids. Let's see, there's so much. The Gluten-Free Coach, Conscious Eating Collection, the Keto Kickstart Cookbook. Let's see, Natural Remedies, Thriving. Excuse me. There's also the Wellness Workshop Bundle, your Best Health Journal, right? Those are all really great things. So there are 20 ebooks, 19 e-courses and summits, 5 printables and workbooks, and it's only on sale now. Today is March 8th and it ends March 12th. So it's only for this week, and it's only $37. And I think you will really like it, especially if right now you are feeling stressed and you are wanting to do some things to improve your health. This is a perfect little bundle for you to get. It's not even little, but the price, I feel like the price is an amazing value for what you get. But you can only get it this week. But if you click on the link that goes along with this podcast, or if you're watching this as a video, you can click on it and grab the bundle as long as it's before March 12th. Well, actually, like I think you have till March 12th at midnight. Okay. But, thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be more than happy to answer them. And you guys have a great week. All right. Bye-bye.